Hello, everyone. I hope you are doing well. Happy Wednesday. I don't know why that view is like that. Sorry. Okay. I hope everyone is doing well. How was your week? Reach out to me if you need support, if you have something that you want to talk about. I have an exciting announcement. Starting the first week of May, I will have a live call board. And so I will have a number that you can call in, and I can take your calls online live and answer a question, do a mini reading for you, talk about the things that are going on in your life and in the world and so on. So I'm super excited about that. That is coming in May. So in 2 weeks, I will have a live call board. I'm so excited for our guest today. But before I bring on the fabulous Joni Moore, I just want to ask you all to come together, put your hands on your heart, and let's really take in a deep Ave Sa breath and send love out to the world. There are so many people that are suffering and struggling right now. And I have a very, very dear friend who is going through something absolutely unimaginable, where she lost 2 family members to murder this week. And it's evilness that you see in the movies. It's not something I ever thought would happen to someone that I know. And I know she certainly did not. And so I know her and her family and all the families that are involved and all the people involved with the 4 people that were murdered. Well, 1 committed suicide, but the other 3 that were murdered. Let's just send love and energetic hugs around all the people that are suffering from horrific, tragic losses like this. So everybody, let's just take in a deep breath in through our nose, Ave, exhaling out. Let's do that again. Ave. And let's just send that love and light and peace to all the people that are suffering. So, sorry, she is a very dear friend, and my heart just breaks for what she's going through and what her family is going through right now. And I just have to say, when they say not even once for using meth, they mean it. It robs people of their souls and makes them do things they would never do otherwise. So please, if you are out there struggling with addiction of any kind, if you are suicidal, if you have any thoughts of harming yourself or someone else, please reach out and get help. There has been so much unnecessary tragedies, and it's time to stop it. It's time to come together, because together we are better, and give and receive love to everyone that we meet. It does not cost a thing to smile. It does not cost a thing to be nice and kind and considerate of other people. And it makes you feel really good. Try it. So I don't have to tell my guest today about this, because she is a genuinely kind-hearted, loving person, and her story is amazing. I'm super excited to have her on. So let me just tell you briefly about her. Miss Joni Moore. She has Higher Love Corporation, which is a medical marijuana. And she'll tell you more about what she does and where it's located in Michigan. She has a BS in botany and an MS in forestry and a certification in herbalism. So she is very talented, very knowledgeable, and just an an amazing woman. I had the distinct pleasure of getting to know her, meeting her in Ecuador, because she was at the solstice, the spring equinox event that I was at and participated in the ceremonies. And I'm sure she'll share some of what her experience was for that. So, Joni, would you turn on your video and your microphone and join us, please? Hi.
Hi,
Beautiful.
Dawna. So good to be here with you.
It's so good to have you.
Thank you. Thank you
Good.
so much. And just to reinforce what you said earlier, my heart goes out to your family members and to the tragedy that everyone is experiencing. And it touches all of us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It does. It does. It's,
Mm,
again, it's just such an unimaginable tragedy. I just, knowing one of the people that committed a couple murders, I would have never thought that she would have been capable of that. But that just goes to show you what addiction can do, but especially meth can do to someone, you
absolutely.
know, and
And these are crazy times.
they are crazy times. And you know, people are suffering from so much, and that's partly why I wanted to do a show, is to have a safe place where people could come and feel seen and heard and validated, and hear about amazing things that other people have to offer, like Jim last week with his laser, and you this week with your medical marijuana and how you're growing it, and the other products that you offer, which can help people with pain and suffering. And it's a natural way. You know, it's not a drug to be used to escape. You know, that's not what it's created for. It's created to help support the body. And you know, I've talked about supporting the body in a variety of ways over the last several weeks. And so, Joni, why don't you explain to them a little bit about what you do, where you're at, where your farm is, because I think this is
Okay.
fascinating.
Okay, if you don't mind, I'll give a little bit of background about myself
Please,
because I
please.
think it helps people to understand how I ended up where I'm at. So
Yes.
I've had two great passions my whole life, plants and health and wellness. Even when I was a teenager, I loved growing plants. I was one of those kids that was out there running, and walking in the woods was always really important to me. So then later in life, when it came time to go to college, I studied botany, I studied forestry, and I just kept, and I also had the crazy opportunity at the same time. You know, you look back on your life and you realize that, oh, that was really formative. I needed a job when I was in college, and I took a job as a ward clerk at University of Michigan Hospital. It's a big teaching hospital. And I worked with doctors and patients and nurses, and I got this fantastic bird's eye view of our healthcare system. And this was way back in the late 70s. So things were a lot different then, but it was still very similar, of course, to how it is now. And I think that was as much education as I was getting in college. It really helped me to see that that I knew there was more. I knew there was more. Our medical care system is fabulous. It's great for acute situations, but not so great for chronic conditions. And I
Mhm.
just knew that there was more. It also really caused me to want to be healthy all of my life. And I think that set me on my path to focus on health and wellness. So then when I had a family, my middle daughter, when she was 11 years old, she was diagnosed with a brain tumor.
Mhm.
And that took me back to the very same hospital that I used to work in, but now I was on the other side of things. And
Mhm.
that really caused me to focus on how do we stay healthy for an entire lifetime. And not only as adults, but as children too. And my daughter had to go through chemotherapy and radiation therapy, and she's doing very, very well
Mhm.
now. I wish I knew then what I know now. I would have been able to put a lot of things in place that would have helped her immune system while she was going through those treatments. So then when cannabis became legal in Michigan, this was in 2008, I realized that it was the perfect combination of both of my passions, health, wellness, and plants.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all the way until 2013. Actually, another family tragedy happened. My son is a mountain climber in Colorado, and he fell off a mountain. And he was in intensive care and in rehab. So while he was there in Colorado, I was there at his bedside. And I realized, those situations, they cause you, those tragedies, they make you take stock of your life and look and see, okay, what do I need to do different? It just gives you that opportunity to look at your life and see, how do I want to keep things going in this direction? It caused my son to do the same thing. It caused me to do the same thing. And I knew that the first thing I was going to do when I got back home to Michigan was start learning how to grow marijuana. It really had nothing to do with him, except that he was that being in my life who kept saying, this is good, Mom, this is good. This isn't scary. This isn't bad. And so it really wasn't until 2013 that I started taking a hard look at marijuana and realizing all of its benefits. And so when I got back home in 2000, this was now 2014, January 2014, I went to the dispensary that just happened to be in my town, and I got a job as a bud tender, which is what it's like when you go to a coffee shop and your barista makes your coffee. That's what a bud tender is. Your bud tender helps you choose the right product for you. Mm-hmm. So I learned a lot doing that. I actually gave up my job in forestry research to take this job, which was much less pay, but it's just what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And then I became, in the Michigan system, you could be a caregiver. You could grow plants for 5 other people in your house, and you could have up to 72 plants. I had a large basement in that house, and I grew my 72 plants. I had my 5 patients, and I learned a lot. So then I just happened, as Kira would say, that didn't just happen, Joni.
Right.
I met the right people, and I made the right choices, and I ended up having this position as president of Ottawa Innovations, which is our cultivation facility, and Higher Love, which is our retail store. So we now have 2 retail stores open, and 2 more also to open later this spring and summer.
Awesome. Now, yes. Where is the growing facility? Ottawa? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, Ottawa Innovations. Well, we are in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, which is a remote area. It's between Lake Michigan and Lake Superior. A lot of people don't know the Upper Peninsula is here, but it is part of Michigan. It's north of Wisconsin, actually. And so that's where our grow facility is. And then our 2 stores one is in Crystal Falls, Michigan, which is near the Wisconsin border. And the other one is in Marquette, Michigan, right on the shores of Lake Superior. We just opened that store last week.
Wow.
So, yes. Very,
beautiful
very
area.
Busy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah.
So can you tell them your growing facility, what was that land? Did that land used to be used for? Because I think this is
that's right.
Awesome.
That's a neat little part of the whole story. Yeah. So the grow facility is at a former Navy base. It's not on the water as you might think a Navy base would be. It's actually out in the middle of nowhere, out in the middle of the woods. And that's because it was part of the Cold War. In the Reagan era, there was a number of, it was meant for communication with submarines. So there was an underground antenna, and they communicated with submarines it was only open maybe 6-7 years.
Okay.
And then closed down. And the really crazy thing is, when I was a graduate student in forestry, that was my master's project, was studying plants at that Navy facility.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, right. Think about the, synchronicity of all of that.
Yeah. It's like it was, working around even back then, 25 years ago.
Right.
Yeah,
and that just goes back to we really have to trust that the divine God, universe, whatever you want to call it, knows what they're doing. And we have to trust the process, because we might be focused on what's happening right now and not see the big picture. But now when you look back, I'm sure you can connect the dots and go, oh, I know why I had to do
Yeah.
this, and I know why I had to do that. And it all led you to what you're
Yeah.
doing now, which is so beautiful.
It is. And I think it's one reason that part of my path that I haven't even spoken about was just the whole self-ascension path. That has been integral, even before I met Sri and Kira and knew to call it self-ascension, just to follow my heart. Back in those days, that's what I called it, following my heart. What gave me joy, what brought me happiness, what just got me excited. That's what I followed. And it wasn't that the Navy base got me excited, but I just think that you're talking about the creator or God or whatever we call that, that is in each of us. And so when we feel that
Absolutely.
excitement, when we feel that, oh, this is my passion, I want to follow this, then that's that little piece of God that's resonating inside of you. And it's never led me wrong.
Yes, beautifully said. I love that. And I want to put out there to everyone watching this, whether you're watching it live or a recording, really tap into your soul by connecting your heart and soul and what makes you happy, what makes you have passion. Follow that. I love what Joni said about, following her heart, and it never led her wrong. And you can have that too. If you don't know what your passion is, keep going, keep looking, keep tapping in and listening, because you have something out there to share with people that matter and that the world needs, much like Joni's done. And the world needs this, what you're offering and what you have. And I love that. I love that it was on a naval base and you transformed it. And and yes, the self-ascension part is vital and key. And getting to meet and interact with Sri and Kara, who are so authentic and so much live what they preach and what they teach, and they offer so many teachings and so much to help people on their path of remembering who they are, on self-ascension, and really going towards our passions and helping us evolve in a beautiful way. And if you don't know who they are, Sri and Kira, go to SRIandKIRA.com. And there is so much out there that they offer, and it's amazing. And Joni and I both, we got to experience an
Oh my
incredible
goodness.
time in Ecuador over the spring equinox. So I do want to get back to all the things
Okay.
you have to do, but first, would you share what your experience was going to Ecuador and getting to participate in the ceremonies with the Canary and the indigenous people and all of that, please?
Oh, yes. I mean, we could probably fill the whole show just with that.
I
Wasn't it
know.
amazing, Donna? Yes. I'm not even sure where to start, but what comes to my mind first is that when I've been to Tosa Blue Mountain twice now, and both times when I arrive, I always go through this time period where, well, first of all, I'm just thrilled to be there. It's so beautiful. It's like a Garden of Eden, and you just feel the energies as soon as you get there. But then I bring my baggage. We all bring our baggage there, our little issues, whatever they may be, competition or ego, whatever it is, feeling lack of confidence. And so then that kind of looms up, and I'm like dealing with that for a couple of days and feeling the beautiful energies. And the Kenyari were there, and that was the most fascinating and amazing part for me was the equinox, the experience with the Kenyari. And I kept saying that this is so personal for each of us. And And it was because, like I said, you bring your own issues when you come, and each person is dealing with their issues in their mind, or at least that's from my perspective anyway. But I felt like that was mirrored by the Kenyari too. By
Mhm.
They made it such a personal experience for us. They
Absolutely.
were the whole of bringing the divine feminine. They were living that right in front of us. They were accepting women. Alexander brought his wife and his sister. That was the first time they were allowed to participate in the ceremony. And the women were even speaking their truth about that. I couldn't speak Spanish, so I could only rely on the translations, but I gathered that there was some hard feelings there. There was a little bit of emotion that went along with all of that on both sides. The men were crying, the women were crying, we were all crying, but they were tears of happiness and release.
Yes.
And I was just blown away by Alexander. I felt like he could just see right through us. He could see right into our souls, and the words of the Kenyari, um, the men were. I'm just amazed at the poetry that they spoke. They talked about the water and the sun and the earth, and it was with such passion and such beauty. I felt like they were reading poetry, and they were just amazing. You know, saying things like, it there is no higher and lower, there is no good and bad, we are all one, and just such beauty. And I just loved being there. I loved meeting all of the people like yourself. And I mean, I can't even mention everybody, but Za, I loved Za,
He's
and
awesome.
yeah, yeah, and everybody there was just amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, and then, you
Right.
know, we had the San Pedro experience. You know, as a plant medicine person, I have to mention that
Yeah, absolutely.
that was that's my second experience with San Pedro, and I love the way it's gentle, and it isn't scary at all. It wasn't to me. I didn't think anybody had a scary experience, not that what I heard of. It was very gentle, and I made my intentions, and I felt like as soon as I came back to the States and back to my life, like those intentions were happening already. I continue to notice changes in myself, even. I think when you set those intentions in a magical place with plant medicine and a part of the calendar like the equinox, and then all the beautiful energy of all the people gathered there, plus the magic of that place, such
Completely.
spiritual magic there. And I feel like when you set those intentions with, you set them with um, a, a meaningful heart. You intend to follow through with them, and you're setting intentions that are realistic for yourself. That it just has all started to come to fruition. And my intentions were personal intentions. They were intentions for my company. And things are moving. Things are happening, and it's amazing. Even simple things where I start to feel myself go back to habits that are maybe not so positive for myself, like starting to feel a lack of confidence. And then I can just feel myself resist, like, oh no, there's another way. I don't have to think that anymore. That's actually a thought that I've had is, I don't have to be that way anymore. I don't have to fall into that competition or that lack. And it's
Love
just
that.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. That is
Yeah.
so true. You know, I can't remember if it's Tony Robbins or Louise Hay that said this, that a belief is just a thought that you keep thinking, and you can always change your thoughts, you know?
Yeah.
So you can change your beliefs. You don't have to still believe something that does not serve your life anymore. It doesn't matter if that's what all your family believes or all your friends believe or society believes. What serves you? Does that belief benefit you and take you closer to your dreams, or does it keep you stuck and block you from your dreams? Release it. this
Yes.
is this is your life, you know, this is
Yes.
my life. Take
And
responsibility.
that all came, I became aware of that mostly in just since being back from Tosa Mountain. And I'll be personal and tell you, like, I will start to imagine thinking, like, in my mind, I'll just start to imagine that somebody doesn't like me for some reason, or I'm not as good as that person for some reason. And I realized how much that keeps me from succeeding.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
coming from here.
Right, right. It's not reality.
Yes. Yes. I mean, and if they do think that, I can't do anything about it. So,
No,
that
no.
doesn't really concern me, but I'm thinking those things in my mind. So I've been able to stop that. And that is huge.
That is huge, Joni.
That
That
is
is,
huge. Yeah.
yay. That's so
Yeah. So
exciting. I
that's
hope you
why
celebrate yourself for that.
that's why all this self-ascension work, it doesn't have to be with Shri and Kira. You don't have to go to
Right.
Toast of Blue Mountain. It
Right.
could be, there's lots of people who are expressing similar messages, and each person has to find what resonates with them.
Absolutely.
And you take what you can use from those teachings, and maybe you stay with it for a while, maybe you don't. You just keep searching, just keep it on.
Yes. Yeah. Keep evolving,
Yes, exactly.
I love, I've been to a few Tony Robbins events, and his energy is so huge, as well as Shri and Kira's. But he said, if you're not moving forward, you're not standing still, you're going backwards. So you need to constantly be moving forward and kind of reevaluating where you are, and are you close to your dreams or not? Because it's easy to get off in the weeds, so to speak, or whatever, thinking that you're going along, but you let yourself get pulled through obligations, or people wanting you to help them with something, or needing your time and energy. And it's that, I love how Shri and Kira say this, it's that steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust. You have to have complete trust in yourself, in your heart, in your soul, and in your inner guidance, right? Like you have been doing, which is beautiful. And like I said before, I hope you're celebrating yourself, because that is huge, to have that awareness and that awakening of yourself. You're incredible being, and I'm so honored to have been able to meet you and get to connect with you. And build a friendship, and get to see you again sometime.
Honestly, Dawna, you're such a voice for fitness. And even though I was a personal trainer for 5 years, I was really into biking and rowing and swimming, and I haven't been as active as I used to be. So just meeting you at Toasted Mountain has pushed me to find that side of myself again, because I think it is very important, just to move energy in the body. It doesn't, you don't have to do something grand, but even, walking or whatever is acceptable and appropriate for whatever level anybody is at, but just moving that energy through some kind of physical activity, it helps the mind, it helps consciousness, it helps everything.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely. Emotions is energy in motion. And
that's beautiful.
I love that. Why it's not mine. I don't know where I heard that from, but I like it. So
yeah, me too.
I like to say that, because it makes sense that when we're feeling down, if we go for a walk outside, we move our body, we get that energy moving, and we feel better, right? We get that emotion moving. Same thing if we write, if we journal, if we write about it, we're getting that emotion, we're getting it moving, and then we can deal with things a little bit better. Or we talk to somebody that we trust on the phone. Again, it's movement, it's moving. Doing deep breathing exercises, meditation helps. Just something, yoga, love yoga. And
awesome. Yes. So I'm looking at the Zadkiel's shield behind you there.
Yes, and I love it.
That we have the different arms of the shield, as explained when by Kira when that first came out, was um, the the mental body, the physical body, the spiritual body, the emotional body, and then that all together, everything is consciousness.
Right.
And um, that I started, as soon as she said that, I started thinking about cannabis.
Mm-hmm.
That's why cannabis can help with consciousness, is because it works on all of those different bodies. You know, it relaxes the physical body, it helps release anxieties.
Mm-hmm.
So you're affecting the mental body, the emotional body. And then when those three parts, the mental, emotional, and physical, are relaxed, and it's like your lower three chakras. When your lower three chakras are relaxed and in balance, then you can spend energy on the higher chakras. And so then and you can use plant medicine to do that. That's
Yes.
how the San Pedro works. It's how cannabis works when used
Absolutely.
appropriately. You know, we
Yes.
always want to be safe and have safe dosing
Mm-hmm.
and knowledge of how to use plant medicines. But when you relax your physical body, then you can open up the spiritual body. You can expand your consciousness. Because if someone is in pain or someone is feeling so anxious and in fear, they can't relax themselves. They can't spend energy on something except survival.
Absolutely. And I was just, my ear is ringing. I'm getting messages from the divine, um, just reaffirming everything that you're saying, that when we use plant medicine, which is such a beautiful gift and discovery, and you know, it was something that was used long before medical schools were created and the pharmaceutical world were created. That's how things got treated, and that is how we are meant to. We are not meant to take in all these chemicals that are not beneficial to the body, don't heal, don't help anything.
Right.
They mask the symptoms, they don't heal anything. And I'm not saying that medical marijuana heals, but what it does, and this is what I was getting, is it helps to remove that ego mind block of um, trying to be in control of controlling the body, and allowing the soul to connect with the heart, to open yourself up to that guidance. So it just kind of, it softens the
Yes.
ego. Yes, it
Mhm.
doesn't remove it, but it
Yes.
softens the ego. And so
Right.
that's what I was getting. So I just had to share that.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. Yes, and I would never say that pharmaceuticals are not useful. It's just that
No,
they,
I'm not saying that either.
yeah, I didn't think you were. Um, and pharmaceuticals came from plants originally anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how we got the pharmaceuticals, is they're based on plant medicine. It's just that we've forgotten um, how the plant medicine is so important, and we've been told that it's not as beneficial. But now we're
Right.
learning differently.
Yes. Yes. Yes, we are. Thankfully, it's coming out what is truly beneficial. And it's
Yeah.
not, you know, the plant medicine is based from what I believe. This is what I believe. It's based on what it, nature created. You
Yeah.
know, nature created all these beautiful plants and fruits and vegetables for our body's best interest. And it didn't create these toxins for
Mhm.
us to consume, whether that's in processed foods, you know, all the sugar, all the dyes, all the chemicals that are out there that people are consuming, thinking that they're getting nutrients, and they're really causing harm to their bodies. Plants are supportive, and that's really, I want everybody to just kind of step back and think about, before you eat something, before you drink something, really think, is this going to be supportive of my body? We all
Yeah.
have beautiful bodies. Our bodies are amazing creations, and they
Mhm.
can heal from anything if we give it the right environment. And
Right.
Plant medicine is a great support for the body for a variety of things. And I have friends that it helps them with chronic pain and inflammation, and they have their medical marijuana card, and they use it for that. And I know it's helped cancer patients with pain that pain pills couldn't touch and made them sick off of. So why don't you share what all you offer through, like, do you do
Mhm.
CBD? Do you do
Yeah.
through your medical
Well,
marijuana?
I wanted to make one point there related
Absolutely.
to, and then I can get into that. There's a term that they use in plant medicine, any type of plant medicine, the entourage effect, that you can take a plant and you can isolate different compounds of it from it, which is what pharmaceuticals do, and then they synthesize it and make it a synthetic substance. But the entourage effect is really a mystery. The plant has so many different constituents in it. And if you're talking about cannabis, it has like 500 different constituents, and only very tiny amount of them have even been researched. So we don't know all of the benefits that we're getting, but we do know that, I mean, we don't know the benefits we're getting from each one of those constituents, but we do know that when you take isolates out of plants, it doesn't work the same as if you took the whole plant. You won't
Right.
get the same benefits. So that's one reason that plant medicine is so amazing. And the other reason is that plants grow by light, and light
Exactly.
light is spirituality. Light is
Yep,
God in form. I mean,
completely.
it's from God. Light is light. And so I think about that when I eat a lot of plants, and then also consuming them for health benefits. And then one more little point to make is the endocannabinoid system. I don't know if your listeners know about that. A lot of people do these days, but the endocannabinoid system is within our own bodies,
Mhm.
and we produce our own constituents, our own chemicals that we use in our endocannabinoid system, and it regulates things like anxiety and inflammation and pain and traumas. Well, how weird is it that there's a plant called cannabis that has also a cannabinoid system that fits in perfectly like a key and a lock with our endocannabinoid system? So that just blows my mind whenever I think about it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that you mentioned light, because I was just getting that right
Yeah.
right before you
Yeah.
said that well, the plants are light. They're created with light, and
Yeah.
we're light beings. We are full of light, and yes, we are energetic, light, spiritual beings in a
Mhm.
physical body, having a physical experience. But our bodies need light to
Yeah.
produce vitamin D. We need
Right.
sunlight.
Yeah.
It's important for us to have light, and
Mhm.
yeah, it's keep our bodies healthy. So yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that
Absolutely.
part. And I love that that fits in like a key with our
Yeah.
own system. That's just again, it's just there's so much out there to support the body, and this is just
Yes.
another
There
tool.
is. You're
Oh,
so right. There's so much out there.
yes,
And I keep wanting to get back to your question about what do we offer, but then I keep getting sidetracked with other
that's okay.
things. And the
Good.
other thing I wanted to mention was that one of the things that I learned when I certified to be a master herbalist was that it isn't just about going to the store and getting an herb and making a tea out of it, or making a tincture, or buying a tincture and putting that in your body. We can't think of healthcare in that way,
Mhm.
with our own self healthcare. Um, but it's so much more than that. It's
Mhm.
all the things that we do. It's the fitness level, like we talked about a few minutes ago. It's your environment. What kind of toxic stuff do you have in your environment? Not just like what are you breathing and what are you eating, but what kind of emotion is going on in your environment? What's your living
Absolutely.
situation like? So when people find themselves in pain or with health issues, it isn't just the medicine they take. It isn't just the food they eat. It's all of those things. It's their activity level, and um, it's the family dynamics, or your job, or, you know, all of these things come together and make good health.
Absolutely.
So
It's a whole wheel, kind of like the
yes,
shield.
just like
It's a
God
whole
heals shield.
wheel. Yes,
Yeah.
it is. It's a whole wheel. You know, I'm a holistic health coach, and I coach people on nutrition and health and wellness. And one of the first things that I do is have them kind of fill out a wheel with different areas of their life to see how happy they are on a scale of 1 to 10.
Right.
Because, you know, say somebody comes to me and they want to lose 20 pounds. If they hate their job, it doesn't matter what I change their food and their activity to be, they're going to struggle with
Yeah.
releasing that because they're not happy in one major area of their life. Or if they are in a unhappy relationship, maybe it's abusive, maybe, you know, something is going on that they're not happy.
Yeah.
Again, if you know, it takes, you want to have balanced will,
Right.
and a balanced life. And so, yeah, I thank you for bringing that up, because that's a really good point to make, to share with people, that think about your life. What area do you struggle in most? You know, is it a relationship that's bringing you down? Is it a career that a job that you hate and you're not doing what you're passionate about? And
Right.
maybe you're feeling stuck and trapped because you don't have enough money. Well, you know, reach out to other people, start looking for other ways to move along with whatever it is that you're feeling unhappy about. And
Right.
please, 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 please know that you were created for something very special to share with the world. You were given unique sets of gifts and talents, and you'll know what that is when you find your passion, like beautiful Joni has done. And the world needs that. The world needs you. So if you are feeling suicidal, if you're feeling struggling with something, if you're in an abusive relationship, if you're have addiction, please, please, please reach out to someone for help. And you can reach out to me and I'll talk to you and listen. I'm not a therapist and I'm not a doctor and I'm not a medical person. I'm just sharing my experiences, which I've been through a lot of different traumas and overcame them, and abuse and so on. And you know, there are beautiful tools out there to help support you, along with supporting the body with plant medicine, and like beautiful Joni is sharing us with us.
I love that, Dawna. I think that that's a really good point to kind of segue into your question, was what do we offer in the store? So all of these things that you're talking about, you know I can't save the world, but I would love to make our stores a place where people can come for information and for empowerment. I was just saying this to our CEO today, who I had a meeting with earlier this morning, and he's totally in agreement. Like, this is our dream and our vision together, is that people come, our bud tenders, our employees have enough knowledge to listen to what people are saying as far as their physical symptoms, or what and they're not medical people either. We don't cure or heal anybody. We don't diagnose anybody, anything like that. But just to hear people, they ask the right questions. And so what I want is for people to come and get answers to their questions. They choose the plant medicine that's most appropriate for them, for whatever their needs are. And they walk out feeling empowered. They walk, because what I've noticed, I was a bud tender for many years, and what I've noticed is that, and I've heard so many success stories, oh my goodness, and they're just amazing and beautiful. And when people are able to ask their questions and make their own decisions about their own health, and of course they use their doctors, they use their medical practitioners for the more detailed and maybe acute symptoms. But all of that combined is then they feel like they're in control. And I think that's one thing that people are feeling a lacking of these days is they don't have as much control over their lives, especially in these COVID times. There's so much fear
Right.
wrapped around that. And so that's my goal is that people leave our stores feeling empowered, that they feel good about themselves, they've had a happy experience.
Mhm.
So as far as the products that we offer, we do grow, you know, we have our cultivation facility, like I said, at the Navy base. So we grow plants in soil with organic products. And not all marijuana growers do that. A lot of marijuana growers grow with hydroponics, and they use a more chemical-based fertilizer. And that works, but it's not as healthy of a product. And you also don't get the same plant constituents. There's terpenes. Terpenes are a big word that's used in cannabis. It's a group of plant chemicals, like naturally in the plant. The things, and there are things like, if you smell lavender and you smell that lavender smell, that's a terpene. And cannabis has many, many, many of those, and they also have medicinal effects, just like lavender has a medicinal effect. It's calming because of the limonene that's in it. That's a terpene.
Right.
So anyway, the terpene profile is boosted by growing in soil with microorganisms. And so that's why we grow in soil with microorganisms and organic products, because it gives a much more robust, healthy product for our customers. And that is so important to us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Then we also in our stores, we offer other products like all the edibles, the concentrates, tinctures, topicals. They even make patches now that are infused with cannabis. And we have CBD. We have products that are high in THC with no CBD. We have combination products, part CBD, part THC. And those are things like edibles, like gummies are a popular product that is easy to use. And we have all different doses in the gummies. Like there'll be 5-part CBD to 1-part THC. And this isn't a chemical that's been isolated from the plant and then added to the product. It's a strain that's been grown that has a higher CBD than a THC. And so then that strain is concentrated down and added to either a cookie or a gummy or whatever it is. But edibles are very, very popular because they're so convenient and people don't have to smoke to consume them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Which is great. So do you ship them at all? Like, did they have to come in person to be able to? Okay.
Yes. We're not allowed to ship because that would be, that's illegal. It's illegal for our products to go over state lines, and it's illegal for us to ship them, whether it's the Postal Service or FedEx or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So unfortunately, they would have, or fortunately, they would have to visit the Upper Peninsula, which is just a gorgeous, beautiful area.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yes, for sure. And so right now you have 2 stores, you said, and then you said you have 2 more that you're going to be opening. Where will those be located?
The third one opening in May is in a little tiny town called Munising, which is a big tourist location. A lot of people vacation there. They come from Michigan and other places in the northern Midwest. It's right on the coast of Lake Superior.
Beautiful.
And then the fourth one will be in Houghton, Michigan.
Awesome.
All within about a 200-mile radius.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. And so what is your plan for expanding even further? And what is your goal?
Well, the company is not just me. The company is made up of some very talented people who have a lot of ambition, and we would like to expand into Lower Michigan as well, and ultimately have 15, 16 stores.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of work.
Oh, yes. I can only imagine.
Yeah, but it's exciting, and I honestly,
Very.
it's all I do. If I'm not doing things like this, or our Monday Magic show, or things like
Yes.
that, or spending time with family, that's all I'm doing
Yes.
these
Yeah.
days. It's my
Well,
life.
it's your passion, and it shows, and it's a beautiful service that you're providing to people that can get there. And it's just it's a beautiful product, and you're doing it organically, which is even better. It's
Mhm.
like people going to the store and getting an apple and not getting those pesticides off. And so
Right.
then you're consuming those chemicals that cross the blood-brain barrier and
Mhm.
increase symptoms of ADD, ADHD, autism, and PTSD. And so while you're eating something healthy or you think it's healthy, you're also getting these toxins. And
Yeah.
so it's really important that you know what something, like a medical marijuana or a CBD product, edible, so on, what is put into it and how is it grown, and what is used to grow that substance, that plant
Mhm.
medicine. Because yeah, like you said, I think that just like anything, there are growers out there that are maybe going the cheap route and using the chemicals, and it's not necessarily providing as healthy of a product as they could be, like
Right.
you are.
Yeah,
And so thank you for
absolutely.
doing it this way.
This industry is very driven by profit, as I
Mhm,
have discovered.
I'm sure.
Yeah, and so you're right. It's so important, everything that you put into your body. We could go crazy trying to eliminate all the toxins, because there's probably always going to be some in our
Right.
environment, but we can do so much just by choosing the organic foods, or choosing the ones, if we're not all organic, at least we just eliminate the dirty dozen that they say, the most highly contaminated
Yeah.
fruits and vegetables, and just reading labels and trying to
Mhm.
stay away from the really bad things, the sweeteners and the oils
Right.
that are so bad for us. And
Right.
just,
Exactly.
it makes such a difference just living that healthy lifestyle.
It does. And really connecting with your body. I think if people would just take a moment to really tune in and
Mhm.
connect and really ask themselves, does my body really want that Big Mac and fries?
Right.
Yeah,
How do you feel after you eat that? I haven't.
exactly.
It's been a long time since I had a Big Mac, but
Yeah.
even French fries, they
Yeah.
look good, but I eat a handful and then I just feel like, whoa.
Oh, yeah, it's probably been a good 20 years since I had a McDonald's French fry. And I remember I hadn't had any for a number of years. And I think my daughter had some, or my husband or something. I don't remember at the time, but and they do smell good. They do look good. And I had one and it was like, oh, my
Right.
tongue got coated with oil, with this
Yeah.
grease. And I was
Yeah.
just like, oh, that's disgusting. No. So now I can smell it, and yeah, it smells good, but I know it's not. So it's easy to not consume it. So
Yeah, you're right. And if you just paying attention to how you feel about all of those things, uh, you know,
completely.
smells too. I don't use
Right.
like highly perfumed smells anymore. And
Hmm.
try to find garbage bags these days that don't have perfume in them. You have to look hard on the shelves of garbage bags.
Yes, I know. I
And they
know.
s- they say that those are some of the worst toxins in our environment, are the household uh, perfumes and chemicals.
Hmm. Air fresheners and that sort of thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
and it's not about being a purist or subscribing to some dogma about, chemicals. It's just like you're saying, once you start to pay attention to how do I feel when I have this around me, and then you become this kind of fine-tuned instrument. You don't even need to look at the ingredients. You know already that this is not
Right.
something that you want.
Exactly. And if you just pay attention to your body, even if you do have something I don't know about you, but as I got cleaner and cleaner
Mhm.
with what I was putting in my body got more and more sensitive to if there was anything in a food that wasn't supportive for my body. It didn't like it, it
Yeah,
would react. And so
exactly.
I like started really paying attention, even things that sound healthy, even things that maybe look healthy. Sometimes your body is specific to you and it's
Right,
unique. And how I eat may not be supportive or how you need
right.
to eat for your body. So there's no one diet that fits all. It's really listening to your own body and supporting your own body. And we all need water. We all need to drink a lot of water, and most people don't drink enough water, and that's really, really important. And if you can do living water, that's even better. And I'm super excited
Yes.
for you because I
I
know that
know.
you're
I was just going to
getting
say,
ready to.
that I ordered I still mess up on pronouncing it. Kangen,
Kangen.
Kangen water. Yeah, I
Yeah.
ordered that. It should be here any day now. I'm so
Yeah,
excited to get it.
me
I
too.
can't wait. And I
Me too.
feel so thirsty lately. It's like I think my body knows it's coming, even
Yeah,
though I use RO water now and I add minerals to it. I just feel like I'm gonna just
yeah,
get this is gonna be a higher level of health for me, and
it
I'm
is.
so excited.
Yes, it is because it's electrolyzed. So the antioxidant properties are very high and it has a higher vibration.
Yes,
And you have raised your vibration. So your body is gonna really take this in and you're just gonna love it. I'm so
I
excited
can't
for you.
wait. Yeah, yeah.
Well, we just have a couple minutes left.
Okay.
The time always goes so fast.
It
It's crazy
does.
to me. So I just want to say really quick, next week I'm going to have Elizabeth Yarnell on, and she is a naturopath out of Colorado who has MS, and her son had horrific allergies, food allergies, and she hardly ever has a flare up with her MS. She's amazing. We got to meet her. And so she's going to be my guest next week. So make sure you tune in next Wednesday, same time, same place. And then in 2 weeks, I will have my call board up where you will be able to call in and I can take your calls live and connect
That's
even. It's so
exciting,
exciting.
Donna.
I know.
Elizabeth is such an engaging guest. I think your listeners
Mhm.
are going to love her, and exciting. You're getting a call board.
I know.
Wow.
I'm so excited because I just, I want to help. I want to help people suffer less in any way I possibly can. And
Yes, you are such a guiding light for that. You're just such a ray of sunshine. And so I think I think you succeed in that. And I know your listeners are better for listening to you.
Thank you, Joni. I appreciate that so much. So, any parting words for people? Tell them again how to find you if they come to
Yeah.
Michigan or if they live in Michigan or near in Wisconsin, or tell them how to find
Yes.
you.
Yes, so we're in Crystal Falls, Michigan and Marquette, Michigan. Findhigherlove.com is the name of our website. We are on Leafly and Weed Maps. Those are two phone apps and computer sites that'll help you find us, Leafly and Weed Maps. It's called Higher Love,
Love that.
findhigherlove.com. We have
I
higher
love
love
it.
and lower prices.
I love that. That is fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Joni, for being here and for sharing
Thank
this
you.
wonderful information today and sharing your heart. You're just such a
Thank
beautiful
you. Thank
soul,
you
and I'm so
for
grateful.
providing this. Yeah, thank you for providing this opportunity and this platform for us to all get together and share. Thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Donna.
Thank you. And until next week, please, please, please know you are loved, know you are enough, know you matter, know you are valued. And join me again right here. Until then, sending everybody lots of love and light. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.